Livi la Banyama. I do hope you have a Bible at hand, because every year on the second Sunday of Lent we read the passage of the Transfiguration of the Lord, which is packed with biblical references. Note some of them. The passage begins saying 6 days later, which naturally makes you wonder what is it that happened before. And then you find Peter's profession of faith, Jesus beginning to teach the apostles about his coming passion and death, Peter trying to change Jesus' mind, and Jesus presenting the conditions to those who want to follow him. And it says that he takes Peter, James and John with him. These three, we will see them closer to him at Gethsemane. And he takes them up a mountain. While a mountain is a privileged space to experience God's presence, it's also the place where last Sunday's Gospel ended. The devil took Jesus up a high mountain to tempt him. Jesus now takes the three in order to reveal to them his identity. At a certain point, Moses and Elijah appeared, and you will see Peter being tempted to put them at the same level, suggesting to build 3 tents for Jesus, Moses and Elijah. The voice of the Father comes to clarify that it is not so. This is the voice that Jesus heard at his baptism, saying, "This is my Son, the beloved." Similar words we hear this time, but they are addressed to Peter, James, John, you and me, and some words are added. Listen to him. In the Bible, listening is much more than hearing something. Is acting, is doing, is obeying to what we hear. And that's why in the first reading you will have the model, the example of Abraham being called by God to leave his land and go to a new one. And it's a passage full of promises, but no details. Where is it? How long will it take? What is he going to find on the way? There are no questions asked by Abraham. He just does as he was told. And that's why in the responsorial psalm, at the beginning of the psalm, we will say that the word of God is faithful and all his works to be trusted. Paul, in the second reading, will encourage Timothy to bear the hardships that comes naturally with proclaiming the good news of Jesus. So as we prepare for Sunday, the day of the Lord, you have seen how rich this gospel passage is. So make sure you take time to go back to it. I hope you have a good Bible with references and comments that will help you deepen on this passage. But we are called to listen. How do you listen? Preparing for Sunday is one way to do it. Making silence and allowing the word to resonate in our hearts is another one. Which one is yours? And who do you listen to? Because when we listen only to ourselves, it becomes very difficult to listen to Jesus. Do you identify yourself with Peter, who many times gets it wrong? He feels more inclined to tell Jesus what to do than to listen to the way that he calls us to follow. Finally, there are always people who present themselves as saviors. Is Jesus the one you chose to follow? I wish you a blessed second Sunday of Lent and a rich Lenten season.